Assalamualaikum, Tajihau and Wanakkam. Have a good day everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome everyone to my talks today about water pollution. First thing first, before I share my speech, I would like to introduce myself. I am Ms. Zulaika and currently I am working at Department of Biosecurity, Ministry of Environment and Water as Director of Evaluation and Research Section. Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen this situation before? Are you familiar with this? And what should we do if our stream, lake, river that involved in this situation? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without waste our time, let us discuss about these issues. Ladies and gentlemen, water pollution is one of the main environmental issues that we are facing as more than 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Water pollution can be categorized as the contamination of a stream, river, lake, ocean, or any other stretch of water, depleting water quality and rendering it unsafe for the environment and humans. Water pollution can be divided into two. First of all, chemical contamination from excrement, animal and vegetable waste due to microorganisms, bacteria, and viruses that exist. Now about the other sources. Ladies and gentlemen, my second point about the sources of water pollution is urbanization and deforestation. Even though it does not have a direct impact on us. Now we will move to the next point. On the other hand, water pollution has very negative effects on public health. A lot of disease result from drinking or being in prevent water pollution from happening. But if humans have not keep practicing the solution and prevention, it is really a waste. Water pollution in our Mother Earth and aquatic ecosystem and garbage produce more than one. Let me summarize the points that we had spoken about. Firstly, sewage and wastewater is one of the source of water pollution. Second, urbanization and deforestation. The third source. I will end my speech today with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alright, so Zulaika, yes, is not here. So I want you to give your opinion or response to this, guys, yeah. Please try to come up with your own, it could be opinions. What do you think about our presentation? There is a speech, which is we have three types of speech: informative speeches, persuasive speeches, and special occasion speeches. Okay, so guys, from your opinion, when you are referring to the presentation, it could be recorded presentation, and we are referring to the persuasive speeches. And any one of you, I'm pretty sure that you already listened to that speeches, the video itself, and Zulaika, she come out with her own recording video regarding in persuasive speeches. And now, so what's your opinion? Can you say something? Anyone? Voluntarily, please.
A little bit too fast.
Hanif, okay. Hanif said that is too fast. It could be, from the Aristotle. It could be one of the scholars majoring in rhetorical communication. And what did he say? He's talking about three elements in rhetoric, which is logos. Whenever you said something, say it with evident percentage data, statistic, then people respect you. It could be your lecturer, teacher, CEO, anyone else, right? In future, it could be opinion leader, student leader, going to be frontliner in future. Now, what you should do is, when you are presenting, make sure that there is evident percentage data, argument, this and that, right? So, and then we have pathos is intonation, pitching, emotion, things like that. The last one is, last not least, is about ethos. Ethos, your position, your post, who are you, your credibility, things like that. People respect you when you have position. You have higher post. You are holding a better position. It could be in our high range, or it could be CEO executive, someone in future. So Anip said something just now is too fast. I think we can relate with which one? Lagos, atas, patos. Which one? Please, guys. When Anip, you relate with that, it's too fast. It could be the pitching, it could be her voice, or it could be pronunciation. You can relate with from that three element. Which one? Anip, you are listening?
Yes, sir.
Which one you can relate with that?
I think it's relate about emotion. Sebab macam tak nampak sangat emotion dia.
Alright, so you're talking about which one? Is Lagos, atas, patas?
Ethos.
No. Ethos is credibility,
No,
position.
petos.
Okay. So you should you should make sure that try to understand these three words: pathos, ethos, Lagos. Lagos, ethos, pathos. Lagos evident percentage data. Pathos is emotion, pitching, intonation, right? Or you want to increase, decrease your voice, this and that. All right. So thank you for Anif's opinion. Appreciate that. Anyone else you want to say something? When you want to become as a professional speaker, what should you do? It could be in future you're going to be as a manager in plantation estate, right? It could be Sandabi, it could be IOI, and then it could be those days got three, yeah. I don't know, Golden Hope, this and that. But right, you have any idea? What else? Anyone you can comment?
Sir, I think
Aisha, please.
I think the most important part is your knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah.
Regarding what you talk.
Or it could be now you want to present your presentation. It could be you want to deliver your speeches. You should make sure that the important thing is do your own homework. It could be research. It could be you can access to various database. Yeah, you can. It could be referred to those journal articles. Yeah, something to do with your any database, right? So when you have a knowledge, you have a very good understanding towards that particular topic area. Yeah, you can persuade your audience. Right? I do agree with Aisha Ghazali, and bear in mind that we should be knowledgeable to make sure that we can persuade our audience or listener. Right? It could be anyone else. Now that Aisha, so my question is from the three element Aristotle, he mentioned about rhetorical communication. Now when you said something just now, the keywords is about knowledge. Knowledge you can relate with which one is Lagos, atos, patos? Aisha.
I think it should be ethos.
Aisha, Lagos is evident percentage data statistic. Alright, Lagos. Ethos is credibility, position, post. What is the post that someone hire you, right? You have that position. That's pathos. Ethos is your credibility. Lagos evident percentage data statistic. So again, my question is, which one, Aisha?
Sorry sir, it's Lagos.
Good. Now you understand. It's as simple as that. So you should try your best to understand these three keywords, which is it could be the scholars is Aristotle, and the theory about rhetorical communication. There's three elements in rhetorical communication: Lagos, atos, pathos. So when you want to become as a good speaker, you should always understand these three keywords. Lagos is evident percentage data, statistic. Whenever you say something, say it with evident percentage data, then people respect you. People, they have, it could be, or they really trust you, this and that. Yeah. Pathos is emotion, pitching, increase your voice. Yeah. It could be how you're going to penetrate them, things like that. Yeah. Ethos is if you want people invite you, it could be people, appreciate, or people trust you. People, you should have your own position. It could be dean, it could be vice chancellor, it could be ministry. It could be minister in the ministries. It could be CEO in any. It could be a dialysis company. This and that. All right. So anything to say about other than that? Anyone voluntarily? Anik just now he said something about pathos, and then Aisha is talking about Lagos. Anyone else? What is the do and don'ts? What is the mistake? Now we can see you can say whatever things that you want to say, but what is the strength and what is the weaknesses from this presentation?
No interaction with audience.
There's I appreciate, I agreed, because when we are presenting our presentation, we should always consider about our audiences or audience, and try to make sure that engage with the audience. Yeah, first thing you have to do when you want to start your presentation, first thing is about greeting. Alright, so Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, salam perpaduan, salam perjuangan, salam Melaka berbau pintar jauh bersih, segala wanakam semena harmani hau makai falakum anabil syukran, marai dan huarin inturu mundai cerita hau. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Muhammad Anwar Fahmi Haridas bin Abdullah. So I'm one of the CEO in Sam Dabe Plantation Estate, and I'm here today to talk about what is all about corruptions and how are you people, are we going to avoid corruptions. Ladies and gentlemen, before I start with my presentation, now I would like to check my audience at the back there. Can you state your name, where you're from, and what do you understand about my topic today? Well, my name is Simon. I'm from Kuala Lumpur. I'm here to listen to your speeches talking about corruptions. I think corruptions is the worst situation in Malaysia. So I feel very disappointed. Okay, Mr. Simon, I agree with you. I appreciate your opinion. Thank you for attending to this sharing section seminar, and we will always communicate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, can you say something about what you understand about my title today? Miss at the back there, can you state something about what you understand about corruptions? Well, my name is Salehar. I'm from Johor. So corruption is something, people unethically doing something that is going to be, that isn't a proper way to do, and is really, it's a crime actually. So, well, thank you, Ms. for giving your opinion. Appreciate that. Thank you for coming. Have a nice day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to move to my definition. I'm referring to one of the scholars from United States of America, Professor Gentile. What is understanding about corruptions all about? Corruption is blah, 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 things like that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, my first point about corruptions, how to avoid corruptions in Malaysia. First thing that we have to do is educate our nation. It could be school children's, teenagers, adolescents. It could be internal and external stakeholders. It could be, all of our frontliner, politicians, anyone else, right? So make sure that we should always focus to the agenda, how we're going to persuade, how we're going to educate this external and internal stakeholder, or else our Malaysian. All right. So education is very important. It could be ministry in education, ministry in high institution. Now we should commit, or else we should have our own rubric or system. It could be module to make sure that our target audience, they will always listen to our opinion, and we can guide them how to avoid corruptions. So that is the first point. Moving to my second point is about the government should always play their rules and responsibility. So as a minister, or it could be government, you are the leader ruling the country. You have to assign a right person to hold a right position in the right time. I'm referring to the SPRM. So make sure that all of their, it could be Top Gun, CO, KPSR, SPRM, and all the officers really doing good things for good people, for Malaysian, and they have their own responsibility, not those corrupted people holding position or doing things that unethical things. Now we should trust the people, we should trust the management, we should trust the, it could be organization. When people against them, when people feel they are not really they are not really, they don't have the positive thought or else mindset regarding the leader or leaderships, the frontliners, government servant, then it's going to be worse problem for us. So my third point is there should be it could be in terms of rule and regulation or any how we going to make sure that those people involved in crime, we should take a serious action. Therefore, we should implement or practice, it could be any rules or any regulation should be very strict, mandatory, right? So that is one of the third point. And ladies and gentlemen, before I end my speech, I would like to restate my point, which is how to avoid corruptions. Okay, my first point is educate our nation, school children, teenagers, adolescents. Second point is all about the government responsibility and rules. Third point is about we should make sure the enforcement, rule and regulations, very strict rules. Now, there is a Q&A section. I'm pretty sure that all of you have your own towering personality, you are talented, and you have your own critical mindset. Please ask me a question. Anyone you have any question to ask? Mr. Simon, I have questions. I feel very disappointed when our government assigns someone else is not doing a good thing for the it could be SPRM or could be the agencies to lead to overcome corruption in Malaysia. What do you think about my arguments? I want to listen from your opinion. Well, Mr. Mike, I appreciate your question. I'll try my best to answer your question from my personal view. Now, first of all, this is the people right. As a Malaysian, you should have your own right. What should you do? Make sure that you choose a right leader to rule the country. There is elections. Make sure that vote for those member of parliament and choose a right leader to lead our country. It could be federal government, state government, or local government. When Malaysian, as a voters, we vote for those or we choose a right leader to rule our country, to lead any organization. It could be federal, state, local government, GLC's company, private sector, government sector. Then the good leader, they have their own, it could be towering personality, they compete, it could be they have their own competition, it could be soft skills, they have their own integrity. So these people can make a change for the, it could be in terms of, I'm referring to how to avoid corruption in Malaysia. So this is the mistake. This is the mistake. It's your mistake. It could be my mistake. It could be our people mistake. That's why. So when you're asking me why the government or the leader fail to make sure that there is still corruptions in these agencies, I'm referring to the government agencies. It could be any frontliners. This is our big mistake. So I hope I answer your question. Did I answer your question, sir? Well, I agree with that, and thank you. I agree with that. So thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Appreciate your question. If any other question, please. Anyone, you have any other questions? Please ask me questions. My name is Sarina. I have questions about when you said we should educate our students, primary school students, university students, college students, secondary school students. But I think I'm not, sometimes because we have a lot of in school, in class, we have all this rubric. This is a lot of subjects, and they have a lot of other activities, outdoor activities, things like that. So I think it's going to be burden because students have to consider about other curriculum module, all these things, right? So I think it's going to be burden for the students. And what do you think about that, sir? Well, Sarina, thank you for your question. I'll try best to answer your question from my personal view. I do agree with you, which is it could be a burden, but then you have to think outside the box. It's not going to be as a major subject. It's going to be a minor subject, So you can apply that syllabus or module. It could be, we will have a selling section. You can organize events, seminar. You can invite the officers from PDRM, Royal Malaysian Police. It could be SPRM to listen, to come and conduct a seminar, or as they will deliver their speeches in terms of sharing section. From there, we can educate our teachers, it could be students, opinion leader, teenagers. So that is one of the platform. Did I answer your question, Sarina? Well, so you answered my questions. Thank you. I agree with your opinions. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your questions. And this is all about our presentation today. For now, inshallah, in future, there is other opportunities. We will always try to communicate and try to deliver a better speech. With that, syukran dan wanakkam sisi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All right, this is the procedure. Yeah. So you start with all the procedures in speeches. After all, you're talking about greeting, checking your audience, engage with your audience, and then you should have what else? Translation, moving on. Therefore, my second point, in order that is translation. Yeah. And then you should blend that three lagos, ethos, pathos in every single when during your presentation. Yeah, it could be you begin with your greeting, and there is you're sharing your arguments, my first point, second point, third. Yeah, and then there should be a translation. After that, you restate your point. Why should you restate? Make sure the audience, they can remember your main point, second point, third. Yeah, all right, the last point. And then you give them opportunity. You give them a right to ask questions, and people, as a listener, as a scholars, professors, as a examiner, they are listening to your presentation. They have their own thought, school of thought, arguments. They want to ask you questions. Yeah, so give them it could be their right to ask a question, and then you conclude your presentation. All right. So any other thing to say about Zulaika presentation? What else? What is the what is the strength?
The influence of language, sir.
Very good. I agree with Anif. Zulaika, she have a very, very good voice, and she's very fluent, and you can see the pitching very clear, very sharp, And what about non-verbal reactions, physical movement, things like, is it okay with you? And we said, okay, now I would like to restate my point. The first point, you can see looking at a finger or hand, that is the reactions. Yeah, is it okay? Okay. What else? What about transition? If there is a transition, moving on. Therefore, next point. Did she say that? Did she include that translation?
Yes.
Yes, that, yeah. And then if there is a Q&A sections in her speeches, yes, no, Q&A section, question and answer, yes, no. Azrael, did Zulaika she give audience to ask a questions, or she let the audience to ask questions? Yes, no.
I think no, sir.
Anif?
Tak nampak pun question and answer tu.
Yeah, got. There, say, there is a question and answer section. Oh yeah, sorry. She don't have. Patutlah. She don't have. I'm very sorry. I agree with you. So you have to understand. But that one is the previous recorded video. That video is not her one. Yeah, is another speaker's presentation. So that this is her mistake, which is there should be a Q&A section, question and answer question. All right, that is the first mistake. And if there are any after greeting, she have this what you call engage with the audience. Yeah, she have that. Don't have, isn't it? She don't have. All right. What else? Greeting okay, translation okay. Evidence okay. Lagos, atos, patos okay. Everything okay, right? But there is, she don't have Q&A sections with her audience, right? Okay, guys. Now, honestly, did you can understand the subject all about effective speaking subject, how to become a professional skill speaker? Yes or no? Boleh?
Saya boleh.
Boleh. Aisyah, okay, Aisyah?
Okay, sir.
Khairi?
Okay, sir.
So what about your homework? It could be your assignments. Yeah, I'm looking at your assignments just now. I don't know whether I have this Google School, Google Classroom. I don't know, I think. All right. So, any question you want to ask me? Guys, you have anything to ask? Don't have? All right. So I hope that you learn a lot of things about how to become a professional speaker. Yeah. But actually, I'm proud of your presentation, Zulaika. Zulaika is not here. Zulaika, are you here? No. All right. All right. Okay. So if you have any questions, please ask me questions, and I will try my best to answer your questions. Well, if you don't have any questions, we can to stop now. Yeah.